How's it going, Laser Bruises? I'll be Sixkilla and welcome back to the Vigilant Villa. Now, it's been a few days since I played this because I've been trying to catch up on the Temtem update, but I'm sure it'll only take a few extra minutes for me to catch up than usual. So I should have caught up by just about at the end. Unable to quit. I'll just finish this stupid test. I hope it doesn't take too long. Score of darkness? What is that? In the ward filled with a revolting smell of disinfectant, a strange man is at the bedside of a girl. She is your... a friend. Right. She could be a close friend of yours. The strange man greets you and says that the private detective to investigate the girl's injury. Feel curious? I didn't get to read that. Smart-looking people do tend to leave impressions on others. You're chatting with the girl by the window in the warm afternoon sun. She jokes about revealing your deepest secret, which you intend to carry to the grave. You want her dead and gone. She's sitting so close to the window, you reach out your arms with just a little push, she caves into gravity. Your question is, how do you get rid of suspicion? What did I say? Good idea. The annoying private detective believes it to be a murder. What you have done might be exposed, along with your deepest secrets. So next, you will... destroy all evidence? Unfortunately, it's never easy to hide whatever you've done in the past. You're on the mobile phone with that private detective. After an everlasting silence, he says, I know it was you. But will that change anything? What does he mean by that? Does he know what you did? Deep down, you know the answer. He has an unusual relationship with the girl. Maybe you're right about the truth. The girl visits you in your dream, wearing a pure white dress. She stands there, staring at you, and the first thing she says is, I know you did this to me. A nightmare. You wake up startled, only to find yourself in that sunny afternoon again. Your hands reaching out, ready to push her out the window. This time, you will... apologize, I guess. It's game over. Now, let's see who you are. You know the weakness of human nature, and you know the complexity of people's thoughts. When you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Maybe you haven't noticed, but something has become part of you, which can't be changed. Accept it, and you'll never be alone. Ingram Fang. How does it know my name? Does that mean this mobile phone is meant for me? Interesting. Shut up, I don't believe you. A test with a strong intention only leads to an unconvincing result. Headache. The lamp goes out suddenly, and the room falls into total darkness. There seems to be chaotic noises, but I don't want to pay attention. The people at the door have been blinded by fear and prejudice. They won't listen to anything. The chaotic noises disappear. The lights come back on, and calm is restored to the villa. It's this depressing song again. It's very disturbing at the moment. I get the medicine out and take it in a hurry, and fall into a slumber groggily. Day 3. The consciousness is floating in a vast void, just like a drop of water in the ocean. It keeps floating without any purpose, until someone starts pulling me hard, calling me from the chaos. Ingram! Ingram! Ingram, wake up! The sound is approaching. I open my eyes, feeling exhausted. It is Daisy, who's right by my bedside, fear covering all her face. Something happened last night. Wait, how did she get into my room? She answers to my thought as if I'd spoken it out loud. I'm just about to ask you why your door is open. And your clothes. I look down, only to find myself well dressed. It doesn't look like I've been asleep all night. Even my jacket has dry leaves on it. The shoes by my bedside are covered in mud. It seems like I've been out last night. Did I go out last night? My brain seems to stop thinking. First, tell me about what happened. Aimee is missing. Chapter 3. Cliff Mystery. Aimee's missing, eh? She was like my prime suspect. The third day in the Tulip Villa is shrouded in a heavy mist, rising from the sea. Enveloped in such unknown mist, I have a feeling that this story is far from seeing an end, but has just begun. Can we carry on now? Yeah. The loud and clear knock on the door is pulling me back from the misty world. My whole body is slowly reviving from sleep, as if at a call. I stretch my limbs, feeling that was a dream? But it wasn't completely a dream, because Daisy is indeed calling me from outside the door, sounding anxious. I dress in a hurry and slip on the shoes, rushing to open the door for her. Glancing at my clothes and shoes subconsciously as I pull them on, I'm glad to find them different from those in the dream. As soon as I open the door, Daisy drags me up on my arm. Holmes, there's something wrong. Aimee is missing. Just like you said in my dream. I didn't find her here. What about you? The others shake their heads and lapse into momentary silence. Oh no. Not Aimee. Seeing them bewilderingly gathering in the lounge, I lower my voice to ask Daisy. When did she go missing? I haven't seen her today. The door to her room is locked and nobody can pick the lock. There's no response to my knocking on the door, which is unusual. It seems no one is in the room. They wanted to force it open, but I stopped them. Why? I remember what you said. Murderers sometimes take advantage of those violent acts of opening the door to destroy key evidence. About picking the lock? Why didn't you ask Leo for help? They told me to ask you first. I see, they want me to talk to Leo. Look it up to the second floor. I'm thinking that it's exactly like yesterday morning when Jackie went missing with his door locked. We've barely had any progress with Jackie's death and now someone else is missing? It looks nothing like a coincidence. John notices me first and comes closer, his face suffused with smiles. You finally come awake, Mr. Detective. I heard Aimee's been missing. Yeah, we haven't seen her the whole morning. It's a bit odd. We've searched everywhere except her room. We're trying to figure out a way to get in. But to be honest, we all know the young man knows how to pick a lock. Why don't you go and talk to him? Well, I know things went too far yesterday. It's too awkward for us to go and ask for help. But Aimee has done nothing wrong, and treated him fairly. He shouldn't be holding grudges against her. Anyway, I think he should help. Leo won't agree to help easily. If Aimee's in trouble, it's a waste of time to try and persuade him. I could try picking the lock if I still remember how to do so, but if I do so, it'll only arouse their suspicion. For me, no reason at all. And get me in trouble. Misunderstanding will only make things worse. The truth is the most important. Where's the key to Leo's room? I have it. Give me the key. George finally stops flipping through the magazine and takes out the key from his jacket pocket with great reluctance. In the room, the curtain blocks out the scarce light, and the air inside is stuffy. In the dim light, there's a figure lying on the bed, with his back to us. His wrists and legs are still tied, completely still. Is he still breathing? Call his name? Leo. I raise my voice suddenly, and John gets startled. The figure on the bed stirs and gets up slowly. He confusedly looks at us, who crowd his door, his voice sounding hoarse. What are you doing there? Why the hell are you watching me sleep? Thank God you're alive. We thought you were dead. Leo frowns. What are you talking about? Aimee is missing, but her door is locked. We need your help. His wrists and legs are tied, so he can only move with help of his buttocks. He leans against the headboard with his chin held high. Why is he tied up? We decided not to do that, right? I'm the murderer. Don't you dare ask for help from a murderer now. Entering into negotiation. Build trust through the conversation. The initial trust is 40 and can be increased through negotiation. The main story continues when you reach the qualifying standard. Try again if you fail. I walk up to Leo and my eyes fall on the nylon rope used to tie him up. It's a tight climbing knot. Leo looks terrible. The skin on his wrist has been abraded. The rough texture of the knot seems to be causing him pain. Talk about how he feels? How'd you sleep last night? Leo raises his hand to remind me that they're still tied. What do you think? I know I've been set up. How the fuck dare I fall asleep? What if the real murderer comes to kill me? Leo casts a glance at all the others at the door, mocking them on purpose. Talk about Aimee? Let's talk about Aimee. I have nothing to do with the fact that she's missing, and I don't want to help tidy up your mess. Calm him down? I know it's awful to be treated as a murderer. Easy for you to say. Keep calming him down. Our trust is going down. I have nothing against you. I'm here to help you. The way he looks at me remains the same. The negotiation is over. Leo still doesn't trust me. I must have done something wrong. You think? Maybe tied him to the bed with nylon was the first thing. Let me try again. I hope I can do better. Everything I did made us lose trust. Let's do it. Talk about his abrasion. The abrasion on your wrist needs to be treated, otherwise you'll get an infection. No need. Are you done? Get your ass out of here. I'm gonna go back to sleep. Calm him down? I know it's awful to be treated as a murderer. Easy for you to say. He turns at me. It seems my compassion has worked. Take the opportunity to apply pressure. Avoiding the problem is never a solid solution. You don't want to be tied up forever, do you? Leo raises an eyebrow and turns to look at me. It almost succeeds. Talk about him being set up. The murderer placed the knife outside of your window. It could be the same with any other piece of evidence. They're just average people. They can't see the logical flaws behind the evidence. They only believe what they see. For them, it's either an unknown murderer or just you, a tangible threat. What do you think they'll choose? He seems to be slightly persuaded. This is enough. Leo doesn't like to be restrained. I've successfully resurrected his desire to fight for himself. Now he's going to help. The negotiation is over. You've successfully persuaded Leo to help. What the hell are you trying to say? You can trust me. You can trust me because I'll definitely bring the murderer to justice. He hesitates, swallowing the saliva subconsciously. I never said I wouldn't help, but you should untie the rope for me first. Let me do it. John easily unties the tight climbing knot and puts the rope away. Sorry, young man. I did it out of safety concerns. Leo relaxes his wrists that have turned purple from being tied up. On the second floor, outside Aimees' room, he's really good with knots. Maybe he made that noose in Jackie's room. Leo, who has found some useful tools in the villa, is focusing on picking the lock. With a click, the door is unlocked. Leo stands up and steps inside, but no one is going forward to open the door. There's something unspoken hovering in the air. Death? The air is not stuffy. There's no oppressive darkness. Unexpectedly, there's nothing odd with this spacious room. The interior decor and the colour of the room is quite simple and clear, but Aimee isn't here. She's not here. Where can she be? Don't tell me that she dumps us and ran away. But last night, she talked to me about what to prepare for breakfast today. Maybe the answer to her whereabouts is in this room. Oh, we got clues to find, apparently. We got something here. Oil painting fragment. Nice. Can we check this out? No. Can we check this out? No. This? This. Drawer? Aimee's nightstand. A drawer in Aimee's room. She would put some sundries in it. I imagine she would. Inside the drawer is the key for the utility room. Maybe it can be useful in the future. That's pretty handy. Door key to the utility room of the villa. I mean, we've been in there before, but you never know. Book? What book is it? Found nothing on the nightstand except a lamp and a notebook. Oh, it's a notebook. There's a notebook. Must be Aimee's. The first page records the cleaning work in the villa in August. The records start from 2 weeks ago. The second page is a record of the remaining supplies, which could be written down yesterday. The third page is a plan for today's breakfast. That tallies with what Emily said. Aimee's written down the plan for today's breakfast. Page 1, Villa Cleaning Record, August, starting from the 25th. Page 2, Remaining Supply Inventory. Page 3, Aimee's plan for today's breakfast. Okay. I wouldn't think that breakfast was that complicated, but okay. I mean, it is a fancy place, I guess. You never know. Can I open these? Hello? A few sets of clothes are hanging in the closet. They don't seem high-end. That's interesting, because she's such a fancy lady. There's a set of clothes seemingly prepared for today. Isn't she like a real estate mogul? Or whatever? Most of the books on the bookshelf are mystery novels. Only a few fashion magazines stand among them. Why would she put mystery novels that she doesn't like in the bedroom? She doesn't like mystery novels? I flip through the book and find a note in it. Must be an anagram for something. The note is encrypted. I'm not sure what it'll point to. I clench the note tight and put it in my pocket. Sure. Okay, we got one more thing. In the bed. Oh. Okay. Clean sheet. No signs of someone sleeping here. A bit suspicious, yeah. Have you searched anywhere further? How much further? We haven't searched around the cliff. There is no one on the cliff. There's a shoe there, though. There's only one red high-heeled shoe, lying over the edge of the cliff, alone. A red high-heeled shoe lies on the edge of the cliff. From the degree of the wear of the shoe's sole, it's a new shoe, or at least was seldom worn. The muddy ground from the heavy rain the day before yesterday has been nearly half dried by the sun yesterday. As we leave footprints everywhere on our way up the cliff, there isn't much useful information to gather from the ground. This is Aimee's high-heeled shoe. Why is it here? Did she jump off the cliff? The white mist beneath the cliff makes the scene quite blurry. The sea resembles a gigantic mouth that is ready to swallow all the secrets on Earth, and the waves roar against the rocks. Foams, check this out! Could that have been left by Aimee? Take a closer look. I squat down to check the pile of ashes. There are still pieces that haven't been completely burned. Burned ghost money. Inside the ashes on the edge of the cliff, there is incompletely burnt ghost money. It's ghost money. That's what you have to use when you're trading with ghosts? From the burn marks, it was extinguished naturally. No sign of man-made... Okay. It's ghost money. People turn to look at each other in speechless despair. Fear is like a mollusk's foot, secretly sticking in revolting mucus. It's slowly creeping up their spines, inserting a chill into their paws. Why? Why did she even think of burning ghost money here? Could it be for Mr. Gia? Mr. Gia? Why? Does she know who killed him, or she was... I noticed that there seems to be a trace of dragging beside the ashes. Analyze the soil. According to the humidity of the soil, it would be difficult to leave such a clear trace. Unless someone has been struggling fiercely. Track the trace. The trace of dragging disappears around that high heel. Someone killed her and then dragged her around here? There's a trace of dragging beside the ashes, and it disappears around the high-heeled shoe. And the shoe fell off when they were being dragged. Or she was dragging someone and her shoe fell off while she was dragging someone. What is he looking for? She must have jumped off the cliff. I don't fully agree with John. The available evidence is inconsistent with the psychological activity of Aimee if she wants to commit suicide. Oh, here we go. It's reasoning time. You're about to start the deduction. Yeah, I gotta save. I know. I remember. I know the drill at this point. Game's so anal. I like it. There's evidence against that Aimee would commit suicide. Maybe it is... Oh, the notebook. Because she planned today's shit already. The fact that she had a set of clothes already for the day. What else do we have? Trace of... not that. The high-heeled shoe? Yeah, of course. You're not gonna wear your fancy high-heeled shoes to go and murder yourself. Ridiculous. The suicide unusually goes through internal struggles. Taking their shoes off is part of the decision-making. They usually take their shoes off subconsciously, just like doing a usual thing. But there's only one shoe left on the cliff. It looks like it's fallen from her foot while she was struggling. If she decided to kill herself, she would have worn the set of clothes prepared for today in her room. And also, she's written down the plan for today's breakfast. Everyone full silent. I think John's the killer. Because he's too good with knots. Then it must have been an accident. No, she was struggling. There's a distance between the ashes and the edge of the cliff. It's highly unlikely for her to have fallen down by accident, no matter how dark it was. And why would she be standing around at a cliff in the middle of the night? Moreover, she knows this place better than any of us. We have to think outside of the box. The whole thing has been weird from the very beginning. The thick hemp rope at the crime scene must have been prepared in advance. Even if Leo is the main suspect, I'm afraid the owner of the villa is also involved. Mr. Gia died yesterday, and she came to burn ghost money for the dead today? She obviously feels guilty. Otherwise, why would she do that? I still don't know what that is. I'm gonna have to look that up later. My point is, it could all just be a trick. Maybe she's trying to get away with it. Sneering. Nonsense. Get away with what? Get away with the crime she committed. This whole place is self-enclosed. Even if she runs away from the villa, where can she go? Who said this place is self-enclosed? Everything we know about the villa has come directly from her. Maybe there's a way out all along. He's right. I think we're just fussing about it. She might have fled. We're the ones who have to stay for another 4 days with the body. My goodness. Everyone has their own opinions about Aimee's disappearance. I tend to think that she was murdered. Maybe someone tried to conceal the truth, just like the mist over the sea. Anyway, if she indeed runs away, then she must have taken something with her. Let's check the villa and we'll see. Okay, somehow I broke the game before, but it seems like we're back on track. Nobody was in the mood for a breakfast earlier this morning. They were imagining what it was like behind Aimee's locked door. If it was as bloody as what they'd seen yesterday, they would surely feel sick. But now things have changed. It seems most likely the woman who they have known for only 2 days has fled by herself. The butterfly in the stomach is gone. Come, and have something with us. John comes up and throws his arms around my shoulders, inviting me over for food. No thanks, I'll wait for you here. After you finish your food, we'll check Aimees room again. Alright. I don't know how I fucked up the game before, but we're good again. Let's go talk to everyone. I guess that was a bad ending or something? I'll take out the note I found in Aimees room. Bitten. Looks like a rail fence cipher. Learn about it? How does the rail fence cipher work? I've got a pen and paper, I'm ready. The original text, unnatural death. Delete the blanks, unnatural death. Divide the 14 letters into 2 columns. 14 letters into 2 columns, 7 letters each. Write down the letters from top to bottom, aligned, and then respell them. The text has been encoded. Okay, let me see. B9th. B09? Only the books on the bookshelves are placed in alphabetical order. Row B, the 9th book. The Metamorphosis. There's 2 things in the book, a card and a photo. The card says, when Gregor Samsa woke up one morning from unsettling dreams, he found himself changed in his bed into a monstrous vermin. Who are you? From Z. In the photo, I walk on the street at night in strange clothing. They look gloomy and dangerous, like in our nightmare. Oh yes, is this me? Why don't I have the slightest memory about it? I don't think I've ever dressed like that. Neither have I been to that place. What the hell is going on? My head is aching, and I feel that my nerves are about to go crazy. I hold onto the bookshelf, and noises are flooding my brain again. Holmes, what are you looking at? Daisy's voice sounds unclear, as if blocked by a layer of plastic film. Show her the photo. Daisy notices the photo in my hand. Wow, when was that taken? It looks so cool. It's pretty cool, unfortunately I don't remember it at all. Claire is not having breakfast either. She sits by herself on the sofa opposite us, looking outside the window. She looks cold and distant, as usual. Is that clock noise going to keep going forever? Okay, I'm going to save and reload, because that's annoying. Alright, we're back. Clock noise is fixed. Let's go talk to these guys. There is only bread on the dining table, but after the hard morning, they seem to have quite the appetite. No one complains about the simple and boring breakfast. Good. As well they should not complain. Emily? The door is enclosed and it's a bit messy inside the room. Emily's applying medicine to her arm. There are a few bruises on her arm, both new and old. It looks like she got a new wound again. I knock on the door and she looks a little surprised to see me, rolling down her sleeve instinctively. What's the matter? Ask about Aimee. I want to ask you about Aimee. Did she say anything else to you yesterday? We talked about a lot of things, but they were pretty normal stuff. There was nothing unusual. We should hurry and look for Aimee. I saw her last night and she was her normal self. It didn't seem she would commit suicide or try to escape from punishment. Unless she was such a good actor that even I was fooled. Okay, I see. I think your husband might have you fooled. We can check the utility room now. Because we got the key for it. I'm in. Clues. What is this? Coloured Gear 5. With coloured pinions, it seems to be able to solve puzzles when gathered together. There's another one. There's another one. I do love coloured gears. What is this? It's another one of those. Man, we must have a few of those now. What about all these drawers? One of these has got to open, right? I guess not. Up here? Well, there's a... what's a majigger? Landscape painting? What's this? Is that another one of those iron things? It is. And this one? Another bit of painting. Gravy. Back downstairs, I guess. Oh, we're done. Cool. The headache eases, and things slowly go back to normal. I pull myself together and go and sit on the sofa. Daisy follows me to the sofa and sits next to me. Holmes, how did you know that Leo was alive just now? I thought he was dead as well. There's a peculiar scent of death. How do you know that? How do I know that? I can't explain it. Maybe it's just like an instinct? By instinct, aren't you gonna have breakfast? Isn't it a bit dark? Isn't it nighttime? Daisy shakes her head, looking defeated. I don't have the appetite. I feel very disturbed. Who do you think killed Mr. Gia? Daisy leans toward me and asks with great caution. These ones? I don't know. George, probably. If the missing mobile phone is the reason why Mr. Gia was murdered, then it's very likely that he knows the murderer. There's a very high chance that Mr. Gia followed George and Emily here. There's no way that relationship of Mr. Gia and George was just lawyer and client. Mr. Gia opened the door for his old acquaintance, or invited that person to his room, and then what happened next makes sense. Better deduced than I did it. Even though Emily has provided an alibi for him, but the testimonies from family and friends are generally considered to be of low credibility. Tell her of my speculation. Sure. Come on, she's my assistant. I'm suspecting George. Daisy's eyes are widening. She finds it unbelievable. But I have nothing more than my speculation. There's no material evidence, because the crime scene has been cleaned thoroughly. Apart from that, there are too many strange things. For example, there are puzzles that seem to be designed for me, and a strange photo of me. Feels like everything has been planned. It's like a game I can't run away from. Claire on the opposite sofa rises to her feet abruptly and asks people in the dining room in a loud voice, "Hey, are you done with food?" Claire's walking from the lounge to the kitchen. Something by the staircase catches her attention and brings her to a sudden stop. Whose luggage is this? Everyone is drawn by her voice and turns to look at the staircase. A piece of large-sized luggage with some cartoons on it is standing alone in the shade of the staircase. Obviously it doesn't belong to anyone here. Did anyone notice it before? When was it placed there? Well, I didn't notice that. The luggage is right under the staircase. It's a blind spot where the people are going up or down. It's hard to notice even for people passing by, let alone knowing when it was first placed there. Leo keeps nibbling the bread while eyeing the luggage. Looks like it's for girls. Maybe it's Aimee's. Let's just check it out. Isaac takes the initiative to push the luggage out from the shadows. He tries to lay it down slowly, but apparently he miscalculated the weight. Isaac fails to catch the luggage. Bang! With a dull sound, the luggage falls flat on the floor. What is that? Emily is keenly aware of the abnormality of the luggage. There are dark red spots on the white zip. John looks down to see where Emily is pointing at. He shivers and points at the zip as well. There's hair. Something like a handful of dried weeds is entangled with the zip. With a solemn face, Isaac slowly unzips the luggage. A few candies pop out from the luggage and drop to the floor, less than 1 meter away from Isaac. A ghostly pale face suddenly appears, with dark, dull eyes staring into nothing. Isaac jumps away from the luggage almost instinctively. Inside the luggage is a female body with limbs distorted into a weird posture. Obviously it's Aimee. Leo almost chokes on his bread in his mouth. He coughs violently with his hand against the wall. The bright and rosy cheeks we saw yesterday have turned into a withered flower, lifeless and ghostly pale. The marks on the body must be carefully wiped, for we can't find much blood or dirt. All kinds of wounds on the body are completely exposed. Bones are clearly visible through the most severe wound. All of our wild guesses about her disappearance have been shattered by a tragic death. Who put Aimee in the luggage? What an odd thing. It's way too odd. Everyone is pacing up and down, complaining about the situation. Only 2 of them haven't uttered a word. Emily? She stands next to George, looking extremely pale, and her hands subconsciously hold his arm tightly. It has escaped my mind that she is not a professional forensic doctor. But what about me? How come I don't have fear about such a death scene? I can't help but think of that strange photo of me. I can surely ask Emily to investigate the body with some sort of grandiose excuse. I know she'll suffer from insomnia, anxiety, fear, and endless nightmares because of that. Oh my god, why is it doing that? Alright, we're back. I'm not too sure why it keeps kicking us out. It keeps kicking us out like because the connection's bad or something. Why would you need to be connected to the internet to play a visual novel? It's not an MMO, for fuck's sake. I'm gonna have to try it with internet turned off, just to see if that's a thing. I'm gonna wrap this episode up here, because that was a pain in the ass, and we'll explore this next time. Hopefully you don't have to be connected to do it, because that's dumb, and if that's why it's, like, kind of stuttery, then I'll just play it with the internet off. But we'll see. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.